From the kitchen of the cabin, it's the 5 Games for Doomsday review.
The Ming Voyages and the March of Progress. Do you ever feel like there's too much stuff? I don't mean the facile trend of folding socks or posting Facebook memes with sad polar bears on them. Your internet activism doesn't mean a thing and you're achieving nothing. Just don't hurt your arm patting yourself so hard on the back. None of us throw our shit away because our clutter distracts us from death, but it weighs us down. Somewhere inside us there's a weight. I won't use the word spiritual because we all know that woo-woo is destructive shit, but many of us feel our knees buckle at the sheer force of gravity exerted by our crap. We live in a world of untold plenty. Everywhere you turn, shelves heave with food, from pre-packed corn syrup shite to worm-riddled organic fluff at only 75 quid a gram. We are corralled into our destructive habits by everything we ever wanted being permanently available. By hitting buy it now, we put our fear and misery on hold for a second, but we build up a tolerance, so it has to be bigger, it has to be better, it has to show that we're buoyant, we are keeping up, that we can afford our hemp woven by real peasants. Look at the development in the games world. Nothing speaks to your success as a person more than exclaiming, "Wow, this game was only $100. The best of the hobby has been taken over by the urban middle class's desire to demonstrate how much money they can spend on pointless shit. Continents burn and people's homes erode into an ever-encroaching sea, but at least your start player marker is made out of real screen-printed brass. This Caligulan excess has spilt over into the design too. So many of these expensive games feel like the second draft. This is the draft where you just chuck everything in to see what works. Samuel Johnson said, "Read over your compositions, and whenever you meet with a passage you think is particularly fine, strike it out." I'll go further than Johnson though. Don't just strike out the stuff that massages your compositional ego. Strike out all that extraneous shit too. If you think that something might be too bloated, it is. Thankfully, there are those that go against the trend, those that don't see the value in bolting on just one more thing. There are those that try to fit experience into the smallest space possible. They believe in elegance, and I don't mean walking all pretty in a pencil skirt. I mean they value the depth of simplicity. The March of Progress and the Ming Voyages from Surprise Stare Games, Alan Paul and David Mortimer, belie their size and deliver real games using lithe design and an economy of ideas that's admirable. Both of these games deal with historical conflict, and while it's impossible to convey the complexities of these conflicts in such small packages, they both deliver sharp, two-player experiences that work well as games. The March of Progress by Alan Paul is a scenario-based head-to-head game in which players seek to score points by holding territories. This game employs the Concordia-style play and do what it says on the card idea, with one of the cards allowing you to pick up the cards you've played, but with a twist. When you play this card, it allows you to score points for the territories you own. Cards are played simultaneously, but resolved in a particular order, and it is the think and double think that leads to the tension here. Getting to your opponent's head is the core of the game, and it's great fun. This game comes with various scenarios that chart the history of European conflict from the 100 Years' War to World War II. The opening scenario is used as a tutorial of the game's mechanisms and is frankly too simple, but the other scenarios had just the right amount of complication, and the 20-minute playtime is filled with lots of fun back and forth. The real highlight of this pair, though, is the Ming Voyages. This is an asymmetrical wargame that's played in 40 minutes and delivers one hell of a punch. One player takes on the role of the Ming Emperor, who is seeking to traverse the world, but is being constantly distracted by the barbarian tribes nibbling at their borders. Like the previous game, The Cousins' War, this is a small game crammed with decisions. Cards are played that help you, but can also give a boon to your opponent, so every card lay is filled with potential jeopardy. But what is remarkable is that the players are playing different games that fuse together wonderfully. What surprised me is how much depth there is in this game. In a world of bulky, overwrought novels, the Ming Voyages is a sharp, crystalline verse that says as much in a couplet as most do in an entire book. Simplicity should always be the goal, even if the required level of simplicity is complex. But these two games wield their simplicity in a way that is quick and incisive. Thank you for listening, and you can support the show by going to patreon.com/5G4D.